Good evening, y'all. Good evening, Candy Culture. Hey, Kia.
Hey, hey, lovely people. It's your girl Kia Simone.
Y'all, don't you hate when your friend reminds you of a song like 10 minutes before you're supposed to start a show? Kia, girl, I've been singing now. I've been singing this lay your head on my pillow and just relax,
Relax, relax.
relax,
That's the
relax.
jam.
That's Kia's fault, y'all. I can't get it out of
That's
my
the
head.
jam. When the show is over, I think I'm
I
gonna have to play that and
I can't get it out my head. Hey Kimberly, how are y'all doing? Hey y'all. So I put the questions in the chat, but Kia's gonna introduce the questions. So you know how we do, even though Misha's not here.
So y'all know that's the music. Listen, y'all know we love the music. So we just got some icebreakers. Y'all know this is my favorite part of the show because it's just kind of light and fun, just kind of help us relax for the week. Shout out to Kimberly. She said she had a rough week. Girl, I did too, and I needed CMK, okay? And I needed this. Need another bottle because this was the last. So the first question is, Crystal, are you early? And I needed this. I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. My phone. Sorry, guys. So, Crystal, are you late to the party? Or sorry, are you on time, early, or late?
I'm always early. I'm always early to the party. I'm always early in our lives. I'm like, let me just sit here and wait till people come in. I'm always early to the party. Yeah. I'm early to work. Yeah. You
So,
never know.
I used to be early, be the one in the parking lot when there's no one there. Then I was the one that was on time. Now I'm the one that's late to the party, but I'm actually purposely late to the party because the people I know, their parties don't start on time. So I was tired of getting up, rushing, when you're doing something else, whether we're on a live or you're in the middle of doing something for yourself and you're rushing, running around, about to break your neck, trying to squeeze into your dress and all that stuff. And you get there and they still setting up. Oh no, I'll be there when I be there. Okay. So that's why I learned to just get there when I get there. I'm not gonna be late when the party's shutting down, but I don't. So and then certain people I know that they're late. Now let me go shout out. I don't know if she's watching, but if she watched the replay, this is for Shantae's reality. She will tell you a ball face lie. Love her dearly, but she will tell you the party starts at 5 when the party don't start at 6. So I've learned her evil ways.
You know what, yo, that is a lesson. My mother taught me that years ago. That I'll tell, and you know what's funny is even as when we were kids, she would so you don't want to get up on time, so she would set our clocks back and think, and I'm thinking of running late or set the clocks forward, and I'm not, and it's a different time. So she just taught me that years
And she's here.
ago.
I told on her. Yes, she do. She tells lies, Crystal. One time she had a Mother's Day party at the movie theater. She rented out the whole movie theater. So when I pull up, I don't see a car that I recognize. Okay? There's no one that I recognize. So finally I'm sitting there, doing my own things on my cell phone and stuff. And here she pop up. Show didn't start till like about an hour later. Yes, she does. I learned her.
Wow. Wow. There must be a reason though. You may not have been the reason,
That's not
but
me, but she tell me the truth. So that's
it
why
must
if
have been a
she do
reason. She
tell the
might have
truth,
did that for somebody else or for, like you said, other people that, that be on CP time. It may have not have
but
been
she
you,
knew it wasn't
but
me. I was the one that was early, so she made
it
me
doesn't
start
matter.
being
She's
late.
like, this may not be for Kia, but this for the 10 other people that be doing this.
Now I understand that time we went on she rented a yacht, and you got to make the boat before the boat leave. I can see that one, but come on now, sis.
High Vibes is always late. But you know what? You're right though. I have a lot of people that are on CP time, and then next thing you know, I'm like, y'all. And so then because I'm early, I get I end up helping people set up.
and that's fine. But she be telling me stuff.
That was
She
fine.
don't know my life be chaotic, and just anyone that does that. So I be like, listen, if the plane ain't leaving and the boat ain't leaving, I'll get there when I get there with a gift.
So the next topic,
So,
coffee or tea,
okay.
and hot or cold. I like hot coffee in the morning, at least just one cup, and I I put creamer, and that's my right now because I'm on this diet. That is my one vice is the what I do the creamer with almond milk, and yeah, so that's it. And I mean, of course, I don't douse it, but I literally
So,
measure it out because I am on this diet.
which one do you prefer? So, if you like go out and you have a choice, they say, do you want coffee or tea? Which one are you taking first?
Coffee.
Me too. So my friend Robin, she likes tea. I do like tea. Does it soothe my stomach at night? Whatever, if you had a busy day. But
Hmm.
my go-to is going to be coffee. When I go to hotels and I'm out of town, I need to check to see if you got a Starbucks in the lobby or where's the closest Starbucks because I need to know. Now I'm not into cold coffee. I tried it in Virginia Beach, and I was like, "Oh, this is not for me." So can you do cold coffee?
If it's like a frappuccino or something like that, but not like just cold coffee just on GP. No, just like
It's something about that cold coffee that just don't sit well with my stomach. So I was just like, I don't think it's supposed to be this way. So I can't do the cold coffee. Now, tea, it doesn't really matter. I could do tea either way. So, it just depends. Like I could do a cold tea, I could do a hot tea and warm, whatever. So tea, I can do both. Yep. So guys, I see you guys said hi vibe says hot coffee with almond milk and cinnamon. Okay.
that sounds nice. Sounds nice. So what was the third one?
I was
The
trying
third
to
one.
let read some of the people's stuff too. So
Okay. Are
kind
they
of like
okay?
so we also the third where the questions go? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was in a private chat. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I
So the
put it.
third one, Crystal asked about a $3 million. She said, "Would you move?" She said, "Asked before the show." She says, "Would you move to another country for $3 million, but you can't come back?" I
Right.
would say no because again, for you to say I can't come back, I have too many. I might not like them all the time, but you still have family here. So what if, Big Mama passed? What if something happened and you need to come back home? Or what if a war go off and you can't come back to the United States of America? So I'm gonna say no. I mean, I'll go vacation, but I'm straight here.
I actually said no as well, and I thought, you know what? We built this country, like so. Well, I can't come back. Yeah, so that was the one stipulation. If I had $3 million, would but the with the main stipulations was that I'd have to leave and never to come back, never to return. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just, you know.
So Trey Mack, what's your special blend? You said you got the special blend. What's your special blend? We on Lock says he put sea moss in the tea. I've heard of that, but I've never had sea moss. So I've heard about it. I got a couple of friends that makes, does the little concoctions, but I haven't tried it. So we finna jump into the somebody asked what's the topic. They came right in and said, "What's the
Right.
topic tonight?" So my question is, do people make assumptions about you before they know you and they be all wrong? Or they be trying to read the room and they don't know how to read the room and be assuming something and you be like, where did you pull that from? Right,
Right.
Crystal? You be like, who?
Where did you pull that from? We're doing these. We have the channel. Kia has her channel. I have my channel. Misha and I do our show together, and then we have CMK. And I'm like, where are you getting? And honestly, I love the comments. I'm like, yes, please keep making comments. I need you to keep making the comments. Excuse me. But then I read a comment, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You just made an assumption on my character that hasn't you don't know anything about me. So I just thought it was just so funny. And then Kia had an incident that happened to her this week. And another thing is y'all don't know me. Like as Kia just said,
Yeah, so
you
you
don't
like,
know
you don't
inside Kia
know.
come out.
Exactly. You don't know what's
Um
been going on in my day. You don't know
right.
what, so don't make assumptions. And Shantae's reality said the same thing. People do. They make assumptions. And even when people first meet you, I remember when I was a little young girl, little young girl, little young. So I ain't gonna say young, but early, I was in my late teens, whatever. So 19ish. So I remember when people used to be like, "Oh, she loose." Loose where? Like who? Like how you just assume because I got like a little entourage? So people like, oh, and I remember one lady. She was like, "Oh, I don't want my nephew talking to her because she a little loose. You a little loose." You
Well,
know,
and you know what? She probably got it from she used to be loose. And another thing, you have East Side Kid. I said, you know what? I used to say, do you want the country girl or you want the Cali girl? Like, which one do you want? Because you don't know. And I said, I appreciate that everybody thinks I'm nice, sweet Crystal, but yeah, no, I'm not. And so I actually was about to go in on on somebody today, and I pulled back and I said,
okay, I'm gonna tell you what Shantae's reality told you to do. She said, "Don't let your YouTube fingers bother you." There,
exactly. No,
fingers.
I totally agree. They just fingers, yep. And honestly, they want you to do that. I said, "Oh, she wants me to go in. She wants me to to fall into that and to fall into that trap, and I'm not going to do it." And I said, "Just thank you." Hmm.
And usually, I'm
Hmm.
very sweet and calm. But I know a lot of times when you do be calm, people take you as they make assumptions that they can run over you. So that's what me and Crystal was talking about. So I was telling Crystal, I was like, when you try to be cool. When I'm literally saying, y'all know what that means when you try to be cool because you know what you got in you, and people be like, they don't know that. What would Crystal go? Okay, well, anyhow, they will try you. So when they try you, you like, what the heck? Like, don't come at me like that. So I've had people that will come and be all rah 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 rah, and then when you have to get, I said, "Where my co-host?" Yeah, and they will like rah rah rah, and I had to get someone together like a couple of times this week. Like, don't rah rah rah, because I can rah 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 back. Like, come on now. Don't assume that because I'm quiet, like even at work, people will try you, and you like, don't do that. Because you made the assumption that because I'm quiet that you can just
Hmm.
do what you please. No, that's not. Mm-mm.
And I know, Kimberly said that she had a rough week this week, and it's year end closing and everything. But don't let people just make assumptions on your character and that you're not, and then try to challenge you. Hmm.
Yeah, and then so also another thing that people make assumptions, like again with the quiet. Oh, you're stuck up. And you be like, if you get to meet me or you really talk to me, you'll know that I'm one of the sweetest people you really want to
Right.
know. And you be like, but you just assumed, like, because I'm quiet. Maybe I'm analyzing. Because again, the writer in me observes everything. So people, it was funny because a coworker asked me to do something. I remember her favorite color was blue from like 15 years ago. And she was like, "Oh wow, I observe things. I remember the time you got blue, like sent you blue flowers to work, and you was like, oh, that's my favorite color." That's what I remember really. But I sit back and I observe stuff. So don't think that I'm stuck up because I'm kind of like just
I do that too. That's so funny that you say that because something somebody might have said a year ago, I'll remember, oh, that they love this because their favorite color is red, or their favorite color is green, or they like a specific thing, or they like a specific coffee. I used to do that with my bosses all the time, but you need to just sometimes just sit back and listen and just be an active listener, not make assumptions. And something Misha used to say that, oh, people would think that she's stuck up just because she's quiet. And I said, that's just their insecurities.
and
Mm-mm.
I don't want to get into colorism, but it was a girl that was I get out your insecurities. Because the person who they were attacking, I'm like, she's sweet as can be. But I know when they first, because they was attacking her, and I know why, because she was light skinned, long, hair or whatever. And I'm looking like, girl, go fix yourself up. But you don't have no reason to really attack her. So they made the assumption, like, probably like, oh, she thinks she cute. She, coming in here. I'm like, no, she's not even like that. She's a sweetheart. So we need to like get over our insecurities and stop judging people based on your assumptions. Like I can judge Trey Mack like $30 for a bag. How big is the bag? Trey, you must got that bread. Like and $30 really is not a lot of money if that's what you like. Because I spend 540 something on a cup of my cup stock caramel macchiato.
So I want to go to what High Vibes is saying because that nice nasty is huge, but sometimes I'm trying to be nice, nasty, but then that nasty go just keep coming and just keep coming out. So how do you get that balance, Kia? How do we get that balance between that nice, nasty? You know.
So I guess all things can be done because in corporate America, we I think we mastered that. You be like,
Mm-hmm.
play if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I had to get a guy together about 2 weeks ago because he knew, brand spanking new. I keep trying to tell the people, I say, I think he got out of jail because I was like, did he get his record expunged? Because the way he be talking, I be like, who is this guy? So he made a comment to me, basically judging, talking about what I need, to learn and something like, dude, I've been here since 2003, so I don't need that experience. So stop trying to tell me, you're making assumptions like I need something. I don't need nothing.
Mm.
I need you to manage your business. I'm assuming that just because I've been on a special project for 6 months that I'm brand new like you. No, you brand new. But he made the assumptions that I didn't know nothing. Like, dude, I was on a special project because I'm that deal. But he was like, he keep assuming. So I was just like, I had to be like nice, nasty. So in corporate America, I think we master it. So maybe if we take that into our real lives, but in real life, I think because you know that there's no money on the line sometimes with family and friends, that you just act up
So
because
that's
Chris,
exactly what I was about to ask you. How do you
guilty.
deal with it when it's family, Kia?
I act a plum fool. Troy Mac, I need you to send me a bag since it's so good.
What did Kimberly say? I get places on time. Okay, like Crystal said, they will put you to work if you're too early. Yes. Oh, good. Crystal's here, so help me because I'm always early, dressed, ready to go. That's so true. But that no, okay. So Kia, tell us a little bit about what happened to you this week.
I can't tell. We already talked about that, Crystal, because
I
it's
know.
gonna give it away, and
But can you tell without
I'm
the
gonna get a
names to
whole.
be the names you can't tell?
It can't because it's gonna already. It was about the body by the situation. Somebody made an assumption, and I was like, "Sweetie, that ain't even the case." And again, uh, Shantae's reality know that there's an aunt that on my mom's side that does this. Think that you owe them an explanation. I don't owe no one an explanation. You're not God. I don't owe you no explanation. So, with that being said, some people they will try to tell you what to do in your life, and you don't have the right. So you better ask people that know me to check my resume because you're not gonna tell me what to do, or you're not gonna make assumptions and try to bully me into what you want done. It's not gonna happen.
So I'm gonna say it like this. So being from the South, well, I was born in the South but raised on the West Coast, you guys. And I was just telling Kia earlier that we would get our family from the country would always call and say, well, why can't we come to visit? Or like thinking that because we're on the West Coast, we must be rich or we must got it like that and want to just come and impose themselves on our household without and just assuming that we got the room, that we got the finances, that we got it all. It's not like that. So they just assume things about us and my mother and our family and everything. And I was like, we got my mother's like, we got 4 kids over here. So how but and that's what would happen. And I just think that especially family, they make these assumptions and why didn't you volunteer? Why can't we? And I said, that's not
And
no,
I've
don't
had
just
that case where
volunteer.
people we want you to blow money, and you like, well, you don't know. First of all, it's none of your business. First of all, Chris, we did a show. No does not warrant an explanation.
Right.
Explanation. So point blank, period. Let's just go there. But some people would think that you owe them an explanation. So again, like people will be like, "Well, I need to borrow $3,000. That's a lot of money. You don't know what I got going on in my life, and I don't have to explain to you." And they be like, you go to work every day, and
But you
oh,
just said the great right thing. I go to kids getting upset, y'all. I go to work every day.
I just got all upset. People they will make assumptions, will calculate how many years you've been on the job. Chris, I've had that happen. Oh, well, she been there, she made good money. How you know what's good money? How you know what I'm doing? They
And
will tell
okay,
you could afford this. Like one time, it was like I said, with assumptions. So you don't know. Okay, I was remodeling my I think family room at the time. Okay, you know how much a remodel costs? It's expensive. And so when you get into that, they was going on a family trip. It was somewhere that I didn't even want to go anyway. Like, okay, I don't need to go to the woods. So I said, I'm not gonna make it. She was like, well, what do you mean? You can afford, you work at such and such, and you this and you this and this. Okay, and you say that to say what? Cut me a check. You wait, how about Crystal, you muted?
That's the worst thing when they make assumptions on your pocket. Like, don't make assumptions on what my purse has holding.
Girl, have you ever had someone just ask you flat out how much money you make?
Yes, and I just look at them like, and y'all know my facial expressions. Like, what? What did you just say? That's that's none of your business. And mm, yeah,
Girl,
they
they
they've asked. So what happens when you do that? Did that? I feel like the nice nasty kind of goes out the window. The nice
so I'm
nasty.
at a point in my life, like I said, I need to work on it, Crystal. But I ain't got the nice nasty when I get home. Like if you've been sitting there at work with the nice nasty all day, where you got to tell your manager some stuff, nice nasty. When I get home and you know me, you've been knowing me for 45 years, and you acting a plum fool, then you gets this, okay? Don't be assuming stuff or whatever, or trying to figure stuff out. How about you figure out your life? Stop making assumptions. But
Yeah,
again, I think what the assumption is, like even when, because I like to dress, and people be like, "Oh, she got it, she got it." Okay, but I buy quality stuff. So with quality stuff, while y'all stuff you wash it, and not y'all in the audience, I'm just saying to people in general, you wash your stuff and it fall apart. That's on you. But the stuff that I buy is nice stuff. So my stuff lasts. So don't be sitting there like, "Oh, she thinks she good this and that, whatever." Well, you wouldn't have to buy 10 pairs of shoes if you buy a decent pair of shoes. So y'all done made me upset. I was upset. I was like, listen, here, you can get the business. She said she don't know how to be nice, nasty, that good. I'm either really nice or nasty.
and that's the issue. That's what I've been running into for the for a while now. For the past couple months, I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna pull all the way back. So
Now, like I said, the people that you don't know that make assumptions about you, you be like, okay, you're irrelevant in my life. So if you just think, if you miss out on a good friendship
I
because you
agree.
assume, like let's say if when Crystal first met me on whatever show we were on, and she was like, oh, I don't like her, or whatever, then we wouldn't be doing CMK. So at that point, like I said, the new people, if you assume, like even at work, it's certain people that like I had a girl, like I told you, I was on a special project for like 6 months. The first time I came back, it was in a meeting. Her name is similar to mine. She came for me, girl. I said, "Boo boo, I don't know you. I don't know who that you." And everybody in the meeting knew that I was about to be the nice nasty. I said, "Y'all better tell her my resume."
What
I
do you mean she
said,
came for you? What happened? What did she
so,
do?
okay, so I know policies. Like you could wake me up in the middle of the night. I know policies for my job. Okay, I know whatever. So I was like, well, if you gonna cite for this policy, you have to be able to prove it. And I was like, if you can't prove it, you need to tell me where it's at. And if you can't show me, it's void. So I was nice when I said, well, you telling me that you're citing for this or whatever, and whatever. So she was just like, well, if you would have let me finish. I said, but you didn't lead with that. I said, if you had facts, you would have led with those facts. So we've been sitting here for 5 minutes. Y'all been going back and forth, and I said I need some facts. But they must then tell you you've been here for 2 days, boo boo. I don't know if this purple hair is making you, feel some type of way, but they better tell you.
She
So
did
I
this in the
got
meeting? She did
wait,
this?
yeah. She said if you would have let me finish, I sat here in the meeting for a good 5 minutes. Y'all kept going back and forth, and I'm like, okay, where is it? Where your facts at, girl? And I was nice with her. I said, well, if you're gonna cite something, we need facts, we need numbers. And so she was just like, well, if you would have, ma'am.
Wow.
And then wait. So after I got it together, Crystal, why? Yesterday she sent me an IM during the meeting and says, "Oh, I like your hair color."
But you see how they do that? You see that?
So you assume that you was gonna be able to come. I don't know what you've been doing in these 6 months or how they been letting y'all run raggedy. But listen, no, I'm back home. But yeah, she tried it.
But you see now she want to be friends. Now she
Yes.
want Man, now she want to be friends. Now they want to see what's the key, what's the spice? How why everybody like why everybody want to gravitate to you? So, oh, I shouldn't have came at her
Exactly. And it
that
was
way.
funny, Crystal, because I'm getting text messages on the side. So even the little young millennials were like, Kia back, Kia back. And I said, I ain't even with the shenanigans today. But I told y'all I sleep this job. I didn't intentionally, but I'm like, you gotta show me. So it was just funny. Like I'm like, I don't know who told her what, but she was, I guess, make the assumptions because I was sitting there. That was my like really, that was my first day back. And I was trying to be cool, sit in the cut, be like, but yeah, people be assuming so in corporate America, Crystal, since we could be nice, nasty, maybe we can learn how to, But when it come to family and stuff, because they know me, Crystal. That's the problem. That's why I be like, listen, here, you can get this.
So do you think that people try to test us,
Yeah.
especially in social media? That's
And I
exactly where
have
I'm going with it,
I had that happen in social media. You be like, who are you? First of
especially in
all,
social
you're
media.
behind the screen. I don't even know if your picture is real. I've never saw
Right.
you. So don't you come for me. Some days
Yeah.
I be for the shenanigans. Some days I could ignore stuff, but some days I'll be like, I'm with the shenanigans today. Like that show we did about the size matter, and the guy came for me, you, and Misha.
Yes.
I had time for it that day. I was like, nobody ain't talking about you. You must got a little fine.
And see, that's the thing that they only hear what they want to hear. Sometimes, especially when people are making assumptions on your character, they only hear one piece of it and don't hear the rest of it. So I was like, okay, so now I got time today.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, like I said, I be trying to, I be trying, Crystal. But like I said, when people make assumptions, stop making assumptions. Like in the world, they say assumptions make up out of you and me. So stop making
mm-hmm.
assumptions. I'm never gonna assume, and that leads back into our next topic. We don't go together if you didn't tell me we go together. So I'm not gonna assume. So that's our next
So
topic. So those assumptions
our
will get
next
you in
topic
trouble every time.
So our next topic is, what does commitment mean to you? Because a lot of, commitment has changed nowadays. And when I say that, I mean, like, me and Kia, we're old school. We're not going to be just like dating like 3 and 5 men and stuff like that. But at the same time, a lot of men and women are, unless I got a ring on my finger, I'm gonna be dating. And I agree, and I hear that. I don't dispute that. I hear what you're saying, because you want to make sure that you're vetting the right person. But so, Kia, what does commitment mean to you?
You better spell it out, write
Okay.
it out, because if you don't get my permission, it's nothing. Okay. Like I told Crystal, I was like, we too old. So before, I remember when I was in my 20s, and that's why I'd be like, okay, my 20s, if I was feeling a dude, I would cut the rest of them off, my little entourage. But at this age, hey, if you ain't making it clear, I'm a free agent.
So how does he got to spell it out? Because I agree with you. Girl, I
You can
definitely.
say, okay, let's see where this go or whatever. You just say, hey, I'm digging you, Kia. Let's see where this going or whatever, and I could give you a couple of months or whatever, but I don't want to miss out on another opportunity because you over here playing or whatever, and then I'm thinking of something else. So again, free agent, like
You know why I agree with that? Because
what's going on.
what is black people? If we hold hands, we go together. I
Listen,
I
no,
love that. Right, but you got to spell it out. You got to
because
spell it
what
out
I got
because,
that from the show that I did the men panel when Ryan
well,
said if you don't have a contract, it's nothing. So like it's funny. I must look. I ain't gonna even lie. I must be looking fly lately because my DMs and my inbox has been off the hook. I was
mine
like,
too. Yeah, and sometimes, like you just
like,
said earlier, I'm gonna address this right now. I don't even know if that picture is real.
what
So I'm very
picture?
trepidatious about answering DMs. I'm like, why am I getting all these DMs?
Now, what
But
does promo mean? I'm sorry, you put that
I
up there.
don't
What's
know.
that?
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, uh, Black, explain that. But uh,
Wait.
spell it out. I was gonna address your men's panel, but then also I remember my panel with situationships, and old girl, she said that they never really had a conversation. They never really spelled it out. And I said, and Don't keep me on. You will not keep me hanging on the hook for 3 years. That's just not gonna happen.
I
I'm just
mean,
not.
like I said, it's funny, like I said. And then it's funny how sometimes guys will see another guy interested in you, and then that's when they all want to whatever. Because why? Somebody that I've been knowing for a long time, he was like, I didn't know you had a tattoo on your breast. What did you order CMK? Like, who is he ordered? Like,
Right. How would you know that? Like, okay, and I agree with this. And like I just said, I'm from California, and that's exactly what I ran into a lot. This fear of missing out. Yep.
it's not a fear of missing out. It's
No,
just
no,
like,
with guys, I do think
I
it's a
don't
fear of
have a
missing
fear of
out.
missing out. It's just like if you didn't tell me nothing, like if you don't tell me I'm invited to your okay, Crystal, you invited me to your house. So if you don't tell me I'm invited to your house, why would I come to Atlanta and be like, oh, I'm about to stay at Crystal house? You ain't told me that. So if the dude ain't told me that we go together, just because we held hands, we don't go together.
So he needs to say, "You
He
do
need
you
to
want to
say,
be my
hey,
girlfriend? Do
no,
you
not
want to?"
like,
He needs
well,
to actually
like,
ask
hey,
the question. I agree. I'm not disputing what
yeah,
you're
he could
saying.
say something like, "Hey, Kia, I'm feeling you. I like you. I'm digging you. I don't read signs. I be a little, you know."
I
I,
agree. I'm not, because especially now with especially, yeah, actually, don't you need to explain it to me? You need to say exactly what your intentions are. What are you interested in? Are we dating intentionally, or are we just hanging out? Because a lot of times your intention and my intention could be totally different, and you could have three intentions.
so
So
I mean, like I said, listen. I ain't gonna assume. I'm just living my best life, so I don't assume anything. Like at this age, Crystal. Like I said, in the past when I was younger and I had a lot of time, I would I would just you know, like I said, I would just dismiss other guys, and he didn't even know. Like, okay, I got all rid of them for you, and then you know, 'cause that was just the thing to do. But now it's just it is what it is. Like I said,
Black, I don't think we don't need a presentation, but at the same time, especially as you know here in the A, like a lot of there's guys that are dating three women, or just like they have a lot of options. So I don't want
oh,
to.
okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask Miss Creative. No, I'm not trying to get with him, girl. It was just funny. Like you know, you've been he looking like you know switched up. Like
So if he's been knowing you for years, then he's not interested. Like, and Miss Creative has a point, and we always say this: if you've known somebody for years and you guys never dated, then what's stopping you? They must not be interested, or there must be a reason why you guys haven't actually, pulled the trigger.
but honestly, I sense like a lot of times that people be liking you, like even like and I whatever, but you be like, if you don't say nothing, then I'm single. You know, people like, why you single? Because you don't say anything or you don't approach. So again, I just live my best life. I've you know, it is what it is. So like I said, if we're not like I said, someone put in the comments earlier, like it's open communication. Like, hey, you know, I'm dating more. That just avoids you from getting your feelings hurt. So if you don't establish the relation what the relationship is, so yeah, so if I pop up at um a restaurant and I see you there, you know, in the candlelight, I won't get my feelings hurt. Cause I ain't gonna even lie, my feelings do be getting hurt sometimes, and I still be in my feelings. So if I be digging you and be like, oh that, he make me laugh, you know, then I walk you
Girl,
there and I'll be like, dang, okay.
you just said it. Don't make me laugh. Don't, like, draw me in, as Black would say. Go focus on me, and you draw me in, and then next thing you know, but you drawn, three other women in, or I find out later you could be married or what have you, or you got this fear of losing out, and I'm one of three other women. I need to be sure that
And I think
this is it.
even I think well, I don't know what show because we do so many shows
You
now.
do.
It's almost like a business relationship. I don't know which one we said that on, but it is. It's like at work. When you give me work direction, okay, I need you to be clear, concise, and to the point. Tell me what you want. What's the end of
So
the game? So if you don't tell me the end game, I'm not out here trying to be confused in these streets because again, I don't want to get my feelings hurt and then be up there upset about something that never was.
I like Black's answer, but I want to ask him how long does it take him to be sure? I'm not asking, I'm telling, because I'm not asking unless I'm sure she'd be on board. How long did it take you to be sure? You said sure. Is it a month? Is
But
it 3 weeks?
said, I
Three
get
days?
that.
What is it?
I get that. And like I said, but again, in the meantime, I'm gonna live my best life.
Dr. Amadi, it is dating Jumanji in these streets. It is.
What is dating Jumanji?
You you going through all kinds of animals. You going through just a forest of what have you. It's a lot in 6 months. Okay,
So like
in
me and
six
Dr.
months too
O,
much,
we good friends, okay? So I had to welcome Dr. O to
right?
what's y'all song? Welcome to what's that? Is that Welcome to Atlanta?
Yes.
Ludacris, right? Okay. So I
Yeah.
had to welcome Dr. O to the D, like welcome to the D. So let's say
Hmm.
one of his nurses, he not telling her like that's my good friend Kia. Then she come in the restaurant and think it be something else, So he, Dr. O, you out here playing Jumanji in these streets.
So wait, he does have a question though. Is it 6 months until he knows that y'all are exclusive, committed? As I said, what does commitment mean
I
to
mean,
you?
still, even if it's 6 months, y'all should have that conversation that, hey, this is how I move. So at least that person have an understanding, so they're not just sitting there waiting at home for you. Because some people move faster. Some people be like, "What did we say?" It's some girls that be like, "You my boo," and y'all only went to Red Lobster. You be like, "Girl, y'all only went to Red Lobster." I've had friends that's my age that be thinking that they go with somebody. I'm like, y'all don't go together. Girl, he is not your boo. That's how
He
them
is not your boo.
situations.
One date is
That's
not your
how you end
boo.
up doing the show on situationships because now you into something. I just think that people should just have real conversations and like, what are your expectations on a relationship, or how do you view a relationship? So again, you don't get in trouble with that person, or just feelings don't get hurt.
High Vibe said, we can't wait to be chosen. Dating is about both people making a decision. So it's very much okay for a woman to ask the question as well. I absolutely think it's very much okay. It's okay for a woman to ask the question. And don't be afraid that if you don't like the answer, don't be afraid not to like the answer and
So
be
I
upfront with
want to
it.
chime in on this one. Is it leopard night? Me and Chris have been hanging out too long. So I don't know. We didn't call each other. We didn't talk. I popped in the studio and I seen Leopard. I said, "Girl, we doing Leopard tonight." And I got the little red right here. She had the red earrings. I said, "Really, Crystal?"
The only thing I did change was my lipstick. My lipstick was much more red and it matched the earrings, and I changed it to darker. I don't know. This is the chocolate lipstick that I have. But
So,
yeah,
Marty, he
we,
said
we,
Red
we
Lobster.
literally walked in and we both had leopard on.
Red Lobster used to be the spot. I don't even lie. When I was like 19, Red Lobster was a hookup because I love them butter biscuits, but they done fell off. They want to cheat you. They want to count the biscuits now. So no, I don't even order the biscuits anymore.
So the lady in the sun says 3 to 6 months for a commitment, and then Black said 90 days. So I actually hear the 90 days. And then Dr. O said 6 months as well. No, he's asking, is 6 months too much? Um, I'm kind of partial to that 3 to 6 months. Yeah. What I y'all know I went back up into the chat. What?
I'm laughing because a lot can happen in 6 months. So if you want to chance that 6 months, because in 6 months a lot can happen.
A lot can happen.
A lot of situations can happen in them 6 months,
A
and
lot of
that's how
bad things
stuff
can
get. That's
happen.
how
A lot
stuff
of
get
good things.
messy, and you be like, okay, listen, So I don't know.
And it's so funny. Dr. O said, you got to see how she communicates. How her conversation is. That is very important to the doctor.
So
How she,
I get y'all. I get the
does she
men in the
use
panel,
complete
Trey,
sentences?
Doctor O, Corey. I get them, but again, let's just say that, like, say, hey, like at one point I was not like interested in nobody, and my friends used to be like, girl, like, what is you like? My sister had to literally call and was like, I need you to go out with someone. What about the maintenance man to come, or not the handyman? I'm like, girl, no. But I think if you're clear and say what you want, so if you're at that point where you don't want to date, so actually the handyman did try to talk to me. And he called me after hours one time and was like, hey, da da da. Yeah, Chris, he called. And he was a little bitty thing too. And I was like,
Y'all, I have said don't underestimate a short man, but at the same time, don't
somebody else
be
just told me because he was
don't be
literally
pulling
smart.
up and just surprising me with a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning because
It
you need
wasn't
your clothes
3 o'clock, so
off.
I think it was a Friday night. It was like maybe 9:30ish, so it was right before that 10 o'clock. So he was like, "Hey, how you doing? Yada yada yada, whatever." So I made it clear to him that I didn't want to date. I was like, "It's not you. I don't want to date anyone because I wasn't interested in him, but I wasn't interested in anyone." So I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay, I'm not interested. I'm still trying to work through some stuff." And then he was like, "Well, I might check in with you in 6 months if I'm still single. You still single? Maybe we can see whatever." Handyman love, yeah, he actually, my last project he did it for free.
Trey Mag said it's amazing how men and women want each other, but be on just different wave patterns. It's funny at times, sad during others. I agree with that. Sometimes it's timing. That is very true.
And that's why I said
Sometimes
you have to be upfront because I know he wasn't calling me at 9:30 to check on, a ceiling fan.
no.
I did mention I wanted a ceiling fan in my bedroom, but I would have called you when I was ready to have the ceiling fan put up. So with that being said, uh y'all acting up. So with that being said, I was like, okay, I'm sensing that he's, digging me. So let me be upfront. So I think we can work on communication, Crystal, as mature women and mature men, and just say, hey, I'm not interested. I'm still going over heartbreak. I'm still healing. I'm working on my career or whatever you're
Absolutely.
doing. I would maybe in 6 months I might be able to, focus. But I think if we just give a clear understanding instead of like letting people follow us around like little lost puppies, you know what I'm saying? So that
Mhm.
person like you, but you just like, I just want to dangle that carrot, and ain't nothing popping.
So I agree with the after 2 dates, you're not in a relationship. But to me, I do think, okay, it's been 3 months. It's been that 90 days. You the supersize and the Chick-fil-A. I know I know Black is joking with us, but you have to make your intentions known. Okay, this is
Let's just
three
be
months of
real.
consistent
I ain't
courting.
always been delivered, okay? So I used to give my cookies up. So 6 months I've been gave my cookies to somebody else, and then now I can't get rid of him when you trying to, whatever. So like I said, I ain't been, together all these
Yeah.
years. So that's what I said. Let's just be real. What happened? So then he over there, and now you like that happened in a past relationship. Stop laughing because I be telling the truth. People just don't want to own it. And it was some slipping and sliding because you're like, I don't know what's going over here. And then he was like, no, I figured you was playing. And no, you never said yada yada yada. But now that you said, I always was interested, but I was still slipping and sliding.
I'm laughing at high vibes. She said that's the maintenance man for real. It is the maintenance man. But
I
but I
guess he
do
found
have a
somebody else because
question.
he ain't asked me to put no ceiling fans up lately.
But so after 3 months, you said I could have been slipping and sliding with somebody else. I could have you could have had some maintenance. You could have pulled a
It
Walter.
wasn't that. This was in my younger time. So it was like, okay, dude was interested. He was like taking me out to eat, but it was like he was never like, oh, okay, I want to kick it with you. He was never telling me what his intentions was. So I don't know what you're doing. So I'm digging you, but I wasn't like as upfront as I am now, where I'd be like, okay, so what we doing here, whatever. So at that point, I really wasn't sure what he was doing, so I still slipped and slide over there. Don't y'all judge me, judge your mama, because that was back in the day. But again, that's how slip and slides happen. And then it was just messy, Chris. That's a whole chapter in From Pain to Love. Then the other person, he up there trying to dry snitch because he his feelings. I let him go. I was like, it was just messy.
No, explain yourself.
I
Because you
think I
said
said this on one of the shows. So it was at work romance.
okay
They say don't poop and make your money at the same place. Yes, God is working on me, looking good.
all
So
the time.
I was okay. So I was like, Actually, did me and Corey read this chapter? Anyhow,
Oh, you did?
I can't remember, but I think I read it
One
by
of my
myself.
favorites.
So he was at the like the dude was so petty. He was like, okay, so we was just kicking it or whatever. So when that other situation came, I was like, okay, you gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. You know, it was never nothing serious. We were just whatever slipping and sliding. And it was just a whole
Mm-hmm.
mess. Then the other one started making like little comments at the, time clock. Just it was just too much. I was
And
like, okay,
sometimes when you can tell that it's just too much and things are getting messy, it's time for you to just slide right back out of there. And just sometimes you got to just pull back and just reassess. And that's just not the right move for me. You got to
so
do
he said
that.
what? The lady son said,
The
now that
lady
you're a
inside.
ball state, what's the answer? The answer to which one? So I don't slip and slide anymore because like I said, people
Mm-mm.
getting their feelings. So I don't give out the cookies. Um,
She's been delivered, as she says. Yeah, she's been delivered.
that she says, I have.
I no,
But in my
I've been
20s,
delivered too.
catch me in my 20s, you would have been like, Key.
But I definitely think I'd want at least 3 months of consistency. I need to know that you're being intentional and
I like that.
that
Just
we're
tell your
connecting.
intentions. And like I said, you get a lot further with telling people your intentions. Like, hey, like I had to tell some guy, I was like, listen, I like you. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay, so I'm just letting you know I like you. If you don't like me, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, I like you. So, at that point, just
Yeah,
get
have you
ready.
ever been ghosted? I'm going somewhere with this question. So if
I'm
you
trying to
have,
think. Like a guy like that, you called him and he didn't call you back.
yeah, and then let's say a week later or something like that, like he call you back, would you pick up? Like what's the time frame for the ghosting? What's the if you have, what's the time frame?
I've never experienced anyone ghosting me. It's usually probably me that disappear. But
I
I've
can
never
do
had a
that.
guy that's ghost, like, you thinking everything is good and he just ghosts. Now, I did have it. It might not be ghosted, but the guy, I knew he had a girl, so he would not answer the phone during certain times. And then he must have been. He wasn't smarter than a fifth grader because he wasn't good with technology. Dude, you turn your phone off because you with your girl. Stop playing with me. You ain't ready for all this over here. So stop trying to play. Your eyes is bigger than what they say, your stomach. Stop it. And he would do stuff like you could tell when his social media be off or what. It was just like, dude. So he would like ghost, like he'd be like, it'd be a good conversation going, and then all of a sudden his phone dead.
Yeah.
They said that's the F boy. Yeah, he was. He was, but he tried it. And I was like,
Mhm.
dude, you playing games.
2 or 3 weeks and 2 or 3 weeks, three missed calls on consecutive dates. Yeah, that's the reason of course I asked that question because of maths, but it's just funny. I've definitely ghosted, and then well, and I'm not a lot at once, and then I've been ghosted once. I have been, but it was totally a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, and and then something happened that the night that I was supposed to call the person back, I guess they got mad and um, ghosted me and just blocked me after that because I didn't call
Wait,
them
wait, wait.
back.
You got
They
blocked
didn't
too?
know.
Wait, you got blocked?
They didn't know. Okay, so what happened was they called me. I was gonna call them back, but then the night that I was supposed to call them back, a good friend of mine's brother passed away. So I was on the phone with her for a long time. And by the time I got off the phone, it was late and I didn't call him back. He was mad and he blocked me. So, but he didn't know that, and he still doesn't know that. But so I'm like, you know what? If you're not gonna just listen to what happened, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna explain it to you. I mean, of course, I can't explain it to him because he ghosted me. So, but that's what happened.
Mm.
So that was the only time. And the reason why I asked that is I just think that this commitment thing, these this misunderstandings, these miscommunications happen all the time, and you just never know. You just never know who you're
You know, I
talking to or what
always,
happens to people in life.
I always shout out Dr. O when he says stupid games get stupid prizes.
Yes.
So, we too old, like really to be playing all these games anyway.
Hmm.
So, like I said, I just feel like at a certain point when it's older guys, like even I have like family members, you're like, you're too old to be playing these games. Like I said, let's just be clear. Hey, I'm not interested. I'm out here having my best life. Because I do have family members that are old as dirt and they be like, I don't want to be in a committed relationship. Okay, do you, boo? Make sure you tell the girl that, as long as she understands.
Right. And Trey Mac, I've only done it one time. It was like it was something that I do odd because I don't. Yeah. But and Miss Creative said that she's not proud of it, and it's not like, oh, screw him, and I'm just blocking him for no reason at all. Yes,
Yeah, like I said,
indeed.
I don't think, like I said, I've been ghosted. Now I'm gonna tell you what do annoy me. Um, when you text somebody something and then they just like they be like, I don't know, it's not ghost. I guess it could be considered ghosting, and you'd be like, oh, you just didn't want to answer that question or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't want to answer the question, and don't force me to answer, don't try to tie my hands.
So
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know. Like I
you
said,
know,
so
it's
I
so
did ghost
funny.
the guy. Do you remember the one I told you who took me out and wanted to kept trying to
Hmm.
fill me up? Now I ghosted him because it was just like you send me a text and I'm like, do you think about me? No, I don't think about you.
But you and he clearly did not have a great date, though, right?
Exactly.
And so he then asked you, "Do you think about me?"
Hmm. And I just didn't respond, so I guess he took the hint.
Yeah, don't even respond because he knows the answer. He was thinking about you. He was up at night dreaming about Kia and said, "Do you ever think about me?" No, I
It
don't think
wasn't
about
even
you.
it wasn't even that, Crystal. It was the point that again, the situation it was more to it than just like the being late. It was like he wasn't clear. You're saying that you're interested in me. You're begging for a date, and then when you finally, you finally get my number. You didn't call. It took you like a couple of weeks. Then you said you was intimidated by me. Then you show up late. Then you try to fill me up. It was just too much. I was like, sir, listen. I'm too old. I just can't.
It's so funny because in Trey Mac and I'm sorry, not Trey Mac, Miss Creative and Corey Black are having a conversation in the chat, and she said his standards are too high. And honestly, I feel like sometimes we have to have high standards to get what we're truly wanting and what we're interested in. What do you think of that? Because I've been told that my standards were too high,
Mm-mm.
or I'm, uptight, or in Kia, because, and that goes back to our conversation we had earlier about this assumption. They assume because we act a certain way, because we might be a little quiet, or we're just observing that, or we're moving in a certain direction, that we got high standards, or we're uppity, or we're this, or we're that. Go ahead.
Call it high standards.
Yeah, that's what I was.
One guy that was trying to take me some places. I was like, that's what I'm East Side Kia, but some stuff I was like, that's too hood. Like I can't. So if you have sadness, I'm gonna be uncomfortable. Certain barbecues, it's too. Like again, I said East Side Kia, but certain places I'm not going. And he was like, girl, he had a friend that had a barbecue. Now I'm at work and he says, "Oh, my friend's having a barbecue, Crystal." Okay, cool. I'm trying to be, you know, I'm trying not to be stuck up and make people assume, think people, I'm trying to be down to earth. So we get to the barbecue. They stopped at a convenience store on Jefferson. So you didn't have the ingredients at home. So not the grocery store, a convenience store, a party store. So they're in the parking lot of the store mixing up hamburger meat. Have you ever heard of like salmonella? So the girl was literally like, and I'm looking like no gloves, your hands dirty or whatever. So we gets to Belle Isle and they putting the food on the grill. And I'm like, okay, I know I heard that, when it's cooked, it's supposed to, I guess it's supposed to cook off all the germs, but what kind of hood shenanigans is this? So he was like, do you want a hamburger? No, I don't want a hamburger. So I'm sitting in the car. I was like, I have a headache. So I'm
I,
sitting in
I,
the
I
car
have so many questions. I have so many. I have
because
so
he was
many
hood.
questions.
He was hood. Okay, he was hood. So I was like, no, I got a headache or whatever. So I'm sitting in the car, like, and you had the nerves to say, "Do you want a hamburger?" So this, I ain't gonna call him no names. He was eating the food, so I was like, okay, this is not for me. You nasty too because you eating the food. And I was like, these are your friends. Like something's wrong.
Wait,
This
what time of year you said it was they had a cookout? Was it
was like,
summertime?
yeah, it was like spring, summer.
And
It was warm. It was warm here.
it was warm, and they're doing this in the hot sun in the parking lot. They're mixing.
So people made assumptions because they was like, oh, she don't fit in with you. She's real like she bougie, she this and that or whatever. So I
Mhm,
agreed to go to the picnic barbecue. So I'm
mhm,
thinking
mhm,
y'all planned a barbecue in the middle of the week. You had all
mhm,
the
mhm.
ingredients at home. So why are we pulling up to a convenience store? So when they pulled up, he pulled up too. So when the girl like started mixing the stuff, I'm looking like, when did you decide to have this barbecue?
Right.
So I had questions too. So I was like, okay, y'all done made these assumptions.
You-
I'm gonna pass next time because this is not my type of crew.
that's not my type of crew. Like, and yo, we have to
He
have.
was fun. He was fun though. But yeah, I was like, this is not for me. So again, like I said, people make assumptions, but like I guess his friends they figured out like, okay, just let her bougie stuff stay at home because they would like do stuff like they like the drag race and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is not for me. You cool outside of all this? Just call me when you're not doing this type of stuff because I can't. So they can call me bougie, stuck up, whatever. I'm okay.
But your intentions were different at that time. You didn't want to be drag racing, and you want to go to a cookout, but go to a cookout that we mix the hamburgers in the kitchen. We put the ingredients. We do wear gloves because other people going to be
Crystal,
eating the stuff. Like there's so many things. There's so many things. If you didn't want to do that at your house, you wanted to wait till you got to another place. But don't. There's just so many things. The
Shindy
salmonella.
said I should have knew it was ghetto when it was midweek. No, Crystal, it could have been a movie. So it was like one of those, what's that? Stop drinking your juice in the hood, while whatever.
Oh,
It was some
yep.
stuff like that because it was a lot. It was like one of the movies where it started out early. So first we went to their house. So I don't know why we met at the house. So first we meet them at the house. They come, they're bringing all the stuff to the car. Okay, why are we? Why can't we just meet them at the park? So now we at the
Yeah.
house.
Why didn't you just meet at the park? At the park, you have see, and
That's
it's
what you
just
were trying to
upbringing.
get.
Like you have everything. Everybody, and some, used to be the women would bring the side dishes, the men would bring the meat, and then somebody would make sure and bring the silverware, whatever, what have you. But we would never do that. That's just there's so many issues with that. But they didn't think so.
No, like I said,
Mm-mm.
don't
Mm-mm.
judge me because, like I said,
I guess you are just uptight and just like you just bougie,
but
I
I
guess.
realized that was his type of crew. You know what I'm saying? Like while he was trying to fake the fun, and like I said, it was red flags. I just chose not to see him. But like, they was all ghetto. They was on some other stuff.
It's, and then they wonder, and then men would wonder, why did you ghost me? Why didn't you call me back? Why
Girl,
don't you want to talk to me no more? That used to happen to me. Yeah. Why don't you want to talk to me no? I don't want to talk to you. Like
wait.
no.
Like I said, y'all just don't understand. It was some more interesting stuff. So then it was like the same girl that was making the hamburgers, and later on she ended up she was a lesbian. And so she
I'm
she would
listening.
be, she would be flirting with me on the low, and I'd be like, "That's my boo right there." So come to find out, she ended up turning out another one of the friends, right? That was supposed to be straight. They end up chasing each other around the parking lot because one of them, I can't remember because it was so long ago. One of them was cheating or something, and the other one was chasing the other one around in the parking lot in the car. It was crazy, Chris. It was crazy. But that was my hood.
This all happened in one night. Like you sitting in the car watching this whole scenario go down. That, but you know what's so funny in California? That would happen to me where I was like, how did I get here? Like, how did me like wanting to not be perceived a certain way? Now I'm in this car or we're in this house with these people, and it's okay to be to be considered. You know what? Maybe I'm just, this is not my crowd. Mm-mm.
See, but that's the thing. Like I said, our standards. I knew that, like my friend Robin, I was in denial. Okay. I kept telling her, she was like, you was too good for him and this and that or whatever. He was not, up to par, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, well, that I'm trying to justify my mess. And she was like, she always said, like, no, that mm-mm. But again, that's why you shouldn't change your standards because if I would have probably kept being with him, I probably would have been living in the project somewhere because he loved the projects. He could have money and he still would want to be in the projects.
And you know what? Some people are conditioned to want to stay where they are or where they were raised or just stay in that project. There is that mentality that they need to stay where they are and don't know that there's better out there or there's not even just better, just different out there. They want to rob Peter to pay Paul. People's money stories, that has a lot to do
No,
with how they're living.
that was just him. Like I said, he always said he was like, if I ever like make X amount of money or X amount of dollars, I'm gonna, still go back to the hood. I'll just feel comfortable in the hood. And I was like, I knew in my heart that I didn't want to just, be doing some of
Absolutely
that hood
not.
stuff. So after a while, I was like, sir, this is too much. Like, even when I got him to get out the hood, he still was doing hood. He had hood tendencies in the burp.
Still had hood, yes, still had hood tendencies, still had hood mentality. There is that. Sometimes I talk about I have family members and stuff like that that like or people I consider family like in California that even though they have things going for them, you know, got married, have a child, out everything, now they're back in jail. Just have this hood mentality. I have a friend that was DVC from the Crips, and oh well, just thought it was just better to I could just steal this or I could just have that criminal mentality, and you don't have to. You don't have to have that.
Trey makes
These
sense.
hood mentalities,
Wow. Project Love.
and yeah, that Project Love.
I mean, like I said, and what at some point you just have to be like, okay, I have standards, certain things that you're just not willing to compromise on,
Hmm.
and like it was just a whole mess. I don't know, like it's like when it was like one of them Tyler Perry movies how that you be watching like Sister Son and the person do something crazy and you be like, did he just do? It was like it was with him. That's that situation with him. It was like stuff that he would do. You be like, did he just?
Because in your head, you're like, "Did- that didn't just happen in front of me, right? Because and that's what happens with people that like when we talk about the Tinder swindler, and it's just like I'm watching Inventing Anna right now. People are just so upset and angry because they're thinking, "Wait a minute, I'm smart. Like, how did this just happen in front of me?" Yes, it did. Black
Girl,
said,
I
"My
mean,
standards are high because what I offer on the other end. Sorry, but I am one of a kind." I totally agree. I'm one of a kind. Um, when they made me, there didn't make no others. I'm special, and I'm worth it, and I deserve the best. I so yeah.
yeah, I totally agree. So no, I think that what your standards is because eventually you're going to be miserable. So if you lower your standards or you're out of your comfort zone, you just like you just be miserable and you be like this right here. After the spice and everything, and the flame sizzled out, you was like, what the?
How long? Okay, so let's go back to this commitment question. How long did it take for the flame to sizzle out? How long did it take you to, and I'm not going to say the word delusional, but how long did it take your eyes to open and say, he's never going to change?
No, he broke up with me. So I was like, I guess I was too, you know, clean cut
You were
or
too clean cut. You were too clean cut for him. You were too vanilla. Yeah, you were too sweet. Mhm.
he was like, "You're not so," he was just like, "I'm not feeling this no more." I was like, "Oh," my feelings was hurt, but I was like, "Okay."
Do you think so? What's interesting is I was going to say, do you think that you kept trying because, or you kept going back or sticking with him because you thought I could change him or I could, and this ain't supposed to be an interview, y'all, but because I think that sometimes, and I'm trying to remember, but we think, oh well, I could open his eyes to something different. That's what that's because
I
I
think
thought
I
about that.
did.
That's why I'm asking her the question.
I'm sorry to cut you off. So I think I did because he played that line on me. He said, "I never." When we first got together, he was like, "I ain't never been loved like this before. You a different kind," So I thought I was his savior. I was like, "Okay, this and whatever." And after a while, like I said, the person I am today, I know that I ain't here to save nobody. I'm not. No, but he, I was just like, okay, he's we gonna make this work. Crystal, let me tell you, one time I came home, he had tires in my living room.
Is he a mechanic?
No,
Why?
no, dirty tires. And
On
y'all
your
know,
apartment?
yes,
Did he tell you that he was doing this? Like he just wanted to get the
these was some
car up
good
on all fours?
shenanigans. Like I said, he still had project mentality.
What
And
did you say?
I said, I called his mama. I was like, because he wasn't there when I got there and seen him. I said, why did your son have tires in my living room? I said, what type of hood mess is this? And she probably was just glad that I had took him off her hand, but she was hood too. But yeah, like I said, what you asked about the thing, it's hard for me to break up with people, Crystal. So I think God knows that. So he went on to let him go and break up with me because it was going nowhere. But it's hard for me. I don't like hurting people's feelings. Like it was another guy that I kept around too long. He was another hood one. Ooh, child, I had a couple of them. But I just don't. It's hard for me to break up with people.
I'm not even. I'm not. I'm not putting you down or anything because I agree. I That's happened to me too. It's hard for me to break up with people. It's hard, and even if you know that this is not right, and that's actually what happened with my ex. That I was like, I know that he's not the forever person, but it's just hard for me to say this ain't it. We're
Yeah.
not compatible.
Yeah, so
But
like I said, that's a lesson learned. I just got caught up. So, hey, yeah, Miss Creative, I was cussing, okay? It was a hot, hot mess. So, yes, guys.
I think that's a good question, though. Before we go, since it is hard for us to break up, and honestly, what I just said, this ain't it, and I don't think we're compatible. I think that is good to say if you want to break up as a woman. But it's hard for me to do. It's been hard for me to do that in the past. How have you? But I can't. You're not telling me that all of your exes, kid, they're the ones that broke up with you.
So, okay. If you have a baby on me, you broke up with me. If
Yeah.
you do something shady, you broke up with me. So, I went on about my life. Like, so it just sometimes happens, like in some cases. Yeah, so I had like one that he was like, I didn't break up with you. Yes, you did. When you had that baby, you broke up with me. Girl, he was sending me pictures of his baby. I ain't trying to be your baby stepmama. You had a baby on me, a whole baby.
You broke up with me. That
Yeah,
was
you broke
it.
up with
That
me.
was
It was
the deal
over.
breaker. But so did he think that he could just still date you, or he just wasn't going to have the conversation with you? Or oh well, because you didn't say
Y'all got time.
anything.
Y'all got time tonight? Okay, I'm gonna get fill up my cup and I'll be right back in 2 seconds because this is gonna be
Y'all,
I got time. Hold on, I'll be right back.
let me see what Trey Mack said. I think I go ahead, Kia, go ahead. I've had that same problem in the past as well, Kia. I grew out of that though. Thank God. First step, know your self-worth. Absolutely. And I don't think that us not having sorry, y'all know how I get sometimes. I don't think that not being able to be the person to break up is not knowing our self-worth. I think we know it. It's just having to say the words. Um, and I do think that it might be a little harder for women. I could be wrong, but maybe it is self-worth. But yes, I think I know my self-worth. I just don't know that saying that word, saying that, like, you know what, this ain't it. And the weird thing is, I'm saying it good. I feel like I'm saying it pretty good with y'all. I'm saying, but this ain't it. I don't think we're compatible. That's not hurting his. It shouldn't hurt his feelings because I'm not putting him down. I'm saying we are not compatible. I can say that great with you, but I've had issues saying that in the past. I know that my ex just, yeah, just didn't want to do that. He just stopped. We just stopped. It was very weird. So, but go ahead, Kia. I'm ready.
Carefully said y'all better grab y'all charger. So y'all know I'll be spitting facts, okay? Or it's true. Because this stuff really do be happening. So keep in mind, y'all, I was raised in the church. So I was a good girl. So sometimes somehow like the foolish people was attracted to me because they was like, okay, I like her innocence or whatever. So the one that we're gonna talk about tonight for this conversation, his name will be Zeke. Okay.
I love
So
Z.
yeah, but I cleaned him up in the book. Okay. So Freaky Zeke. Um, we were kicking it. Uh, when did Dilemma come out? That song Dilemma.
Oh gosh,
Whatever Dilemma came out. Okay.
2006.
So we used to be riding the car, like listening to Dilemma, like, hey, hey, hey. Okay. So he was a hood guy. So
2002.
okay, cool. So we was like, we finally like linked up because we always had a crush on each other. But when we finally got together and linked up, it was like, oh, we was at the club one night and he never went home. That's the one who I told y'all who brought the Kool-Aid to my house, okay? And left the shoes. I should have paid attention to the red side. I was a little slow then, okay? Thank God for deliverance. So this boy that came over my house brought Kool-Aid. We was in there, okay? Okay, we was in there. So the whole summer, we like going to concerts. We just riding out. We was chilling. So fall come around. So I get a phone call. A strange person. Who are you? They was like, Zeke gave me your number and told me to call you. He got locked up. I said, oh, dang. Sucks to be him. Because again, I'm young. Listen to y'all, I'm young. So I was like, oh, sucks to be him. So he's locked up. So mind you, he got my address because he left the Kool-Aid there, right? Okay. So because he left the Kool-Aid there, he had my address. So I guess when you go to jail, you can send your belongings home. I didn't know that. So he sent the belongings to my house.
Right.
I'm not your
You're
woman.
home. You're home for him, Kia.
As soon as you went to jail, it was a wrap in my head. I'm living
You
my best life. I'm in my early 20s. So, y'all don't judge your mama. Okay, I was living my best life in my 20s, okay? 19, 20s, was the best life. So, he goes to jail. So, he calls collect. I'm like, sir, whatever. Like I'm kind of like playing them to the left, like kind of like okay, it was cool all summer listening to Dilemma, rocking it out. Okay, so the package came quick, Crystal. So I get the package, like, what's this? So it's just like a package full, like what he had, all his stuff. So it's an envelope. I only have an envelope. So I get the envelope and it says to his mama. Now, why you didn't, if you got a mama, you mailed the package to my house. Why you write a letter to your mama? Why you didn't mail the package to your mama? Why you mail this whole box of basically your belongings to me? This not really official.
No,
Okay.
you're considered home though.
Okay, so let's go here. So the letter, me being nosy Kia, I opened the letter up that says to my mama. The letter says, Dear Mom, I have a baby on the way. Go to XYZ and let her know I'm locked up. And this is her number, whatever, gave all the girl information. So imagine you can't call jail. So just because I was in my ego, I was like, a baby? A baby. So you knew the girl was pregnant before you got locked up. Why would you mail the box to my house? What kind of fool was you trying to tell on yourself? So I'm sitting there like, oh, I gotta call you, but I can't call you. So I see the girl number. That's when I used to say, women do not call another lady. But again, I was in my early 20s, foolish. So again, remember I told you I really didn't want them, but my ego was like, what? You got a baby? Are you still trying to call me and mailing packages here? Yeah, I had a dilemma. So I called a girl. She was like, yeah, we got a baby on the way, yada, 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 whatever. So I was like, oh. So when he finally called, I was like, so you got a baby. So I'm going off. I was like, so you know what? We over, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to be with you because I already had a backup. So I was like, okay, it's over. So he was like, no, 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 no. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. Dude, it's over. So after the girl finally, he was still locked up. So I'm like over and I'm on to this something different. I don't know what I was doing, but it was on to my own life. So he started mailing. So when the girl had the baby, he sent me pictures of the baby. So he was like, here's my son. Why that girl sent you them pictures? So why is you sending me the pictures she sent you of your son? Did she send you multiple copies? Why are you sending me a picture of your son? So I was like, I don't even know what I did with the picture, Crystal. I was like, I am not trying to be stepmama. Crystal got so many questions. So then he don't judge me, y'all. Again, judge your mama. So I gotta go up there and be extra. Oh, okay. So rewind. Before she popped the baby out, I seen her at the jail. So I was like, oh, so he made her call me. She called me and was like, he told me that ain't nothing popping. He made me call you and told me that he want to be with you. When he get home, he gonna be with you and all this stuff. And I was like, girl, why is you calling me? I don't want him. How many other ways can I tell him that I don't want him? And why are you doing his dirty work? And then like I said, so after that happened, that's when he sent the baby pictures. Yeah, I was like, boy, mm-mm. I was not trying to be the godmother or guardian, but it was crazy, Crystal. Like it was jailhouse pimping. Now, that's why I told y'all to get y'all drinks because my other boo was in jail too. So they was in jail together.
Wait. Wait. Y'all love kid stories, but both of y'all were visiting this man in jail.
So this is how I figured it out. So
The way
she was about to bust.
she was about to bust. Um, he still had, that was like, I forgot my question for a second. He still had his stuff over your house, but impregnated the other girl. You were still holding on to his stuff.
But I didn't ask to hold on to the stuff. You mailed the stuff
Matter.
to my house.
It
You didn't
doesn't
have permission to mail this to my house. How did you even know my address? Like I don't even know people's phone numbers. So it was just like real weird that he knew. Like even when he gave the girl my phone number, it was like, oh, she mad. She big mad. Because when I seen her, I figured it was her, and I was like, "That's old girl." And I said, "Excuse." I went and you go. I don't know if y'all ain't never been to the jail, but it's a sign-in sheet.
Yes,
So I
I
walked
have
up to
actually
the
been to the
sign-in sheet and
jail.
I looked and I said, "Hmm, it's you." So I said some choice words. I said, "When you see him, tell him blah 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 blah." And I guess she went back there and told him blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Go call her and tell her that I'm not with you. This is only business about this baby. But you messed up. You got a whole nother girl pregnant. So you just let me off the."
There's so much. So yeah, there's a sign-in sheet. You go uh, and then you said you have another friend in jail while you dealing with the the first dude and the girlfriend that's pregnant by him, and you got another dude that's in jail. So was he in jail already, or he ended up in jail while this is all happening?
So again, thank God for deliverance. So the first one was already in the jail.
Okay,
So
he
he
was in
told me,
first before the
yeah,
guy.
he was in jail. So we wasn't really nothing gonna be popping. He was just always my friend. So he didn't have a release date. He was like, the feds might come get me. Okay, well, I can't wait.
Well,
So
what's
again,
funny is I hear that you're not the first person I've heard that from. That these women that and then I'm not lumping you in with that, but like they're dating these guys that are in jail, but these guys have been in jail for like 15 years, or they'll be in for 15. They might have just got in, but they're there for a while.
Christo,
I'm like,
I'm
move on.
telling y'all this because y'all see I'm laughing, but my 20s was the best time. Strip club, hanging upside down, waking up when it was daytime. Those was the best years. Them was some good years. Now these years are wiser, you more clear. But I ain't gonna lie, it used to be fun messing with them type of people. So the first one was already in jail, but we couldn't go no farther because he told me, he was like, "Babe, I don't know when I'm getting out." So I was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you."
I don't know what to
So,
tell you. I don't
so
know.
they was both in the same jail. So then my cousin went to jail. So when my cousin went to jail, he let me know when they was getting out because the freaky Zeke, he wasn't gonna tell me when he was getting out, the one with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to pull up on me. And my cousin was like, "I don't know why he didn't tell you he about to get out, but his release date is."
Wow.
So when he got out, he was like, "I want my box." That was his like gimmick. Like, "I want my box because now that you call yourself trying to break up with me." No, you broke up when you got that baby. When you got that.
Yes, and she was about to pop.
No, she
And
did
then
pop while he was there.
so then he's sending you pictures saying, "Oh my baby, I had a baby, and congratulate me." He's like sending you pictures.
So he thought because he made her call me that you know solidified that we was gonna be together. And I'm like, "No, you got a whole baby. You had a whole baby on me." And that goes back to that messy what we said about not talking, saying being clear. So when we ran into each other at the club, we never made clear, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I should have been your girl. You bringing Kool-Aid to my house and leaving shoes. So don't say you wasn't clear, like it was that gray period. So we didn't have that period where we sat down and talked and said, "Hey, you my girl, you my boy." We just riding down the street, listening to Dilemma and whatever else. And again, dude, you got a baby.
I do think that when we find out that men are moving, reckless in these streets, but then they want to come back to you, we've broken up. That without the conversation, like we've been talking about tonight, about like being clear and upfront and saying exactly what we're trying to say, but then we find out some stuff like that. Listen, we're broken up. If you can want to consider it ghosting if I never call you after I find out that you had a baby or you got another girlfriend or whatever, um
But
that's broken up.
and that's the thing about that thing, because I'm looking like, and that's the whole thing. It was like, dude, we was cool. We was better than that. So it was like, why you couldn't tell me that you was like on the block, doing you, you
Tia,
know?
Stop. If he would have said that to you, if he would have said, "Hey, I'm dating this other girl and she's pregnant," if he would have, or if he just would have said, "You know what? I'm seeing this other girl," like you said, why didn't he just tell me he was on the block? Would you have been okay with that? What would you have said?
So, Crystal, I was not no fool. It was the point
Hmm.
that you got caught slipping and had a baby. So that was like really my way out. So while he was doing, he was moving mad. So I'm not,
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, you doing you. I was doing me too. It was like, okay, I like you more than the rest of them. So that's why I said back to our first conversation was the review not clear. So I really was digging him because he was like we knew each other when we were young. So we was always cool, like, yeah, what you doing? We about to do this and hanging out, at the clubs together. And whenever he would see me at the club, he, drinks on him, he's sending drinks to me or whatever, make sure I make it home. But that's what I'm like, we was friends first. So I'm like, you went and had a baby, a whole baby? Because I ain't saying that I was kicking him to do just him. Once I figured out
Right.
when you getting calls from your girls, like, yeah, he had such and such. Okay, he here. Okay, he at the club tonight. Okay, I'm at home, sleep, ready, going to
So
work.
you would have been okay. Okay, so it sounds like you would have been okay if you had found out, or if he would have just been upfront and communicated. Listen, I'm seeing somebody else, and she sounds, she told me that she might be pregnant. You would have been like, listen, okay, we both on the block, we both doing what we got to
Well,
do.
and you know what? Like, I'm gonna be nice though. I do give him mad props though, because that's when I first really like started my career. And at the time, I was, my parents had just moved out of town, so like I can say I know he did like me because he did whoever he was sleeping with the night before or whatever he was doing, he made sure he came and took me to work every morning. So I do give him props for that because I wouldn't have a job now if it wasn't for him. So I give him that, but I was just like, dude, we was better than that. You had a whole baby. And when was you gonna tell me you got locked up and you I think he wanted me to find that letter. What do y'all think? Do y'all think he wanted me to find that letter? Because why would you
Kind
mail
of.
the box to me?
He mailed the box to you, and he was supposed to mail the letter to his mother.
No, I was supposed to take the letter to his mama.
You were supposed to. Oh yeah, no. Mm. And he just assumed that you weren't going to open it. You were supposed to take the letter to his mother. That makes no sense to me. Because to
Well,
me, he knows his mother's address. So why didn't he just mail it to her? Why didn't he mail it to her directly?
trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So we
And
broke
see,
up.
and sometimes, and this is what we run into sometimes, to get out of a situation, and a man will just do that type of thing. Oh, well, let me just. I've actually had a guy tell me, well, I wanted to make you mad so we could argue, so then we could break up, because he was moving out of town. He was moving and he didn't want to break up. He didn't actually want to say the words like I just said. So he said, well, I wanted to get you upset and get you angry so we could argue, and then I didn't have to actually say the words that I'm moving and I wanted to break up. And I was like that, and again, here goes my mouth. I was like, that's cowardice. Just say, listen, this is what's going on.
Yeah, and like I said, those were life lessons. And I think
Absolutely.
even though he had a baby on me, I still, like I said, I always have mad respect because again, he helped me. Whatever he was doing, like I said, you was wrong for having a baby. I told him, I said, I can't get past that baby. That was ultimate betrayal. But you did help me out. Whatever you was doing in the streets or whatever you was doing with whatever, you always made sure I was good. And so, stuff happened, but yeah, that's why we broke. Yeah, we broke up.
That's that's so funny, because sometimes when we're not, we just kind of just don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't even think it's self-worth, but we just was like, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but we don't want to say it, so we'll do that type of thing. We'll just do something crazy like that. Mm. Yeah, because like sending a letter to you instead of sending it to his mother and saying, "Can you take this to my mother?" That makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, and then the commitment thing, I definitely think, what does commitment um mean to you? It definitely means to me that actually taking that time to get to know somebody, and I think that 90 days is important. I think that nine But are we dating some Soki? Are you dating somebody else within that 90 days? Are you having several dates? Going to Red Lobster 3 and 5 times?
First of all, I'm not going to Red Lobster, but I'm delivered, y'all. So y'all thank God that I'm delivered.
But you
So
gotta date some. You gotta
yeah,
date one.
I'm gonna explain it to you. So I don't consider it anything serious. So if we didn't have a conversation to say, hey, let's be, kind of see where this goes or something like that, then okay, if I want to go to dinner with Johnny because I'm bored, then I'm gonna go to dinner with Johnny. Listen here, Crystal. I done been through a whole divorce. I done been through my daddy died last year. I listen, life, I'm living my best life. So I don't have time to be waiting for people to decide what they're gonna do. So at this point, if you didn't tell me anything and I just need to get out and go somewhere and have a good time and just laugh and this person makes me laugh and we're not in a committed relationship, I'm gonna go laugh. Sorry.
I actually, you know what, and that I actually agree. To finish my sentence, I actually agree because, like you just said, life is too short, and you got to make positively sure, and you got to just date and get out there, and not just, and like Kimberly said, date multiple times because it's not just because I hate the answer that why not they're doing it, why not men are doing it, not just because of that, but you really got to get out there and have a good time and just see what makes you happy, and
Yeah.
not because the men are doing it. That's my thing. And I hear too many answers like that. Why not? The men are doing it on us. Why can't we go? No, that's
Yeah.
not why.
And that's
You
not
got
even
to
my
really want to know, you know, what your character is, what you're looking for. And like if Johnny or Tyrone or Rashad want to ask me out at the same time I'm dating you, until we've solidified something, listen, we're gonna go out and have a good time.
Yeah, so like what Trey said, if he's really feeling me, we having an exclusivity talk after 3 weeks, but you better make sure you stepping up to the plate. Don't be up there calling like every 4 days. Like I said, I'm not clingy because I've been single for a long time, but if you just absent, again, I'm trying to live my best life. Like
Yeah, and I do think that the reason why I'm kind of not answering the question so quickly is it is hard for me because I'm so used to that. I'm very used to being, exclusive in one person, and just concentrating on that one person. But times have changed. Like, yeah.
yeah, so
Mhm.
like I said, bringing it home. Yeah, like I said, we start off jokey joke, but I like I said, at this point, I just like to be around good people. Whatever makes me happy, I just want to do what makes me happy, and I don't owe anything to anyone at this point. So I just like what I'm saying, because you never know what might brighten your day. You know what I'm saying? So going out to it may not never go nowhere, but just to go out to dinner with someone and have a good time and laugh and joke, and then you go home and get
We definitely don't have to even go nowhere. Just get to know each other, and we don't have to go nowhere. We can just actually concentrate on each other. But I like the 3 weeks. Have that exclusivity conversation after 3 weeks. That makes sense to me. Yeah, this was fun. I know we were kind of all over, but I like
yeah. So
for
I just
us.
want to apologize for y'all when I got excited over talking Crystal because I was getting like. So I'm calm now and simmer down.
Right. No, but that previous conversation that got both of us because sometimes the comments be saying stuff, and then you have something that happens in your family and you're like, ugh, why are these people trying me today? So, sometimes, well, listen, y'all, if you guys have any things that you would like for us to talk about, a couple weeks ago, what was it, the first of the year, we just did question and answers. Just, you know what? Email us. Here is mine. Kia, put yours in the chat.
Y'all know I
Um,
can't see Crystal. I've been faking all night.
okay, hold on. I'm gonna just put it in the
Cause someone said
private
y'all
chat.
ain't gonna drop my comment or something. I was
I
like,
did. I saw that, and then I dropped it. Just so we're ignoring no. I'm there's a lot of comment streaming. So
Kia can't see. Well, we love y'all. These will be the fun conversations, you know. And I listen when I sit, everybody like, I'm going to get my wine. Kia got a story. Those are stories that get make me the creative person I am. Those would make
absolutely.
me look at life different, and appreciate where I am now.
Yeah, last night I was trying to be in LBB's live, and I was writing a script, and I was in screenwriting class, and I was like, sorry y'all, I'm in class, but I'm here in spirit and stuff like that. We got to get these creative ideas out, and Kia's stories are the reason why this has come up. So it's important for us to get those things going. So make sure you copy your book of From Pain to Love, My Heart Belongs to Him. That is Kia Simone's book. And make sure you pay attention because there's more stories to come. Because you know, Miss Kia Simone. Um,
And make sure y'all tune in because you never know what when you get that exclusive. I got a whole bunch of more. I be trying to keep it PG because I don't be want nobody to come jumping out of the bushes like, why you telling my business? But yeah, those are the stories. So make sure y'all tune in to CMK every Friday night, 10 o'clock p.m. Join the party, join the ride, because you never know what we gonna talk about. We can start off one thing, and then y'all just got an exclusive story about me doing jailhouse pimping. You like, my mama probably was sitting there clutching her pearls during that time. Her knees were ashy. She was praying like Jesus.
please, please, please help her keep it PG.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mm,
make sure you go on Amazon and get my book From Pain to Love. Show me some love if you haven't already got it. Get it for a friend. I'm been trying to get my life together so I can really dedicate myself to finishing up my second book. So just keep me lifted
yeah.
in prayer.
And y'all pray for me in these screenwriting streets. I was in class on Thursday night, and I've got a couple of new projects coming. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you guys so much. And tune in next Friday for another fun topic. I am scheduling. It should be this weekend. My men's panel with David and the Street Preacher, and hopefully Trey Mack's going to join me. I'm trying to
The
get the
street
time right
preacher.
now. The Street Preacher podcast. Whew. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night, y'all. Good night.
Good night.